Hello, fifth grade. So Wednesday you were supposed to have pre-read the section on sound. So I would like to give you what we highlighted in class and what we talked about, the answers to the questions, and also do a few little experiments for you here so that you can watch them. Primarily, when we think of sound, most fifth graders don't think of sound as energy. So we want to make sure that we understand that it is, I guess, in motion is what I wanted to say. So if you look at these six guitar strings, tell what is happening and why you think they look different from each other. So if you take a look at number 3, it sort of looks blurry or as if it's not even there. And I would ask the kids what they thought, and most of the kids would say it's moving or it's vibrating. And that's a very important word when it comes to sound, the word vibration. And you can see that it's the first bold word that you see when you begin reading. Sound is merely a wave of vibrations. So it kind of definitely supports that idea that sound is energy. We might even call it kinetic energy. A vibration is just that back and forth motion, and when you take a picture of something, that's why it looks blurry up here. So I think it's important to know that sound is a vibration that spreads out from its source in all directions. So even if you stand behind me, you can still hear what I'm saying. If you stood behind me and I had a flashlight, you probably wouldn't be affected by the light because the light it radiates and it spreads out, but it goes this way, whereas sound goes out sort of like in all directions. So even if you stood behind me. So this is pretty cool. Your vocal cords vibrate when you talk or sing. And so if you take your hand and put it around your neck and you just kind of say your name or something like science is cool, you should be able to feel something with your hand. Don't squeeze too tight now. So how are vocal cords and the strings of a guitar alike and different? I would say that both vibrate. But you need to actively move a guitar string. You need to use energy. You need to pluck the guitar strings. But when you think about your vocal cords, you just have to maybe blow air through them. You need to pluck a guitar string. The girl is playing a guitar. How could she stop the sound after she plucks the string? And Bailey said she needs to put her hand on them. And then I asked her, well, what would that do? And she said, it stops them from moving or vibrating. Okay, and it says to stop the vibration. Okay, and then on these pages here, the focus of this lesson is that sound does move in a predictable way. So sound can travel through solids, liquids, and gases. And it's funny because it's actually in order in how fast and how well it moves. Even though we're used to hearing sound through the air or gases, it actually travels a little bit faster in liquids. If you've ever been in a pool or spoken to somebody while you were underwater, you could hear them. It might not be as clear, but you could definitely hear them. And it also does through solids. It's actually the fastest. So I always have the kids, if you're at a table, just tap it. And then when you put your head down and tap it, it actually sounds, you can actually hear it a little bit quicker and it sounds a little bit clearer. And this is everybody's favorite part, and this is the idea about pitch. So we know that sound is vibration, and this is what it looks like. Boom, it would kind of compress the particles of air. Then here's another compression, and those little compressions go into your ears, and you interpret that as sound. But when we talk about pitch is how many of these come by in a certain second? How frequent are those compressions? And if they come by real fast, it's like it's a higher pitch. If they come back a little bit farther or a little bit wider apart, it's a lower pitch. And you can maybe feel that if we go back to taking your hand and putting it on your throat, and I want you to say, how low can you go? How low can you go? And then say really high, high, high. And you should be able to feel maybe a difference in that vibration when you put your hand on your throat. Volume is something that when kids are talking, they often confuse it or interchange it with this idea of pitch. Pitch is how often, but volume is how much energy it has. Whatever, like a airplane motor might have more energy than a car motor, so it's going to seem louder. But then also it could be how close it is to you. So if you have a car in your driveway versus an airplane way above you, then it's going to be a little bit of you'll hear the car a little bit better. So this asks you right here to use the key to label the sounds in the picture as they would be heard by the man sitting here on the bench. Maybe not you, maybe not this person in here. By what would this person hear? Explain your labels. So I think this person right here, it would be a low pitch thing, but actually be soft because he is not going to hear him maybe because the window there. This person right here, you might hear that high pitched, but once again, it might be a soft sound because he's in the building. This would be, I don't know what do you think they're doing there? I know this one would be high pitched, once again soft because they're all in the building. You know, this person would be soft, but I'm going to guess they look to be adults, so I think they would have a little bit of a lower pitched voice. It's funny because this person here, he probably wouldn't hear anything. I don't know how he would hear anything here because this man is, wearing headphones, so you wouldn't hear him. This would be very, very soft sound, probably a higher pitched because they might be whispering. It's kind of hard to whisper in a lower pitch. This would probably be loud. I guess a mower to me, I don't know how would you interpret? We've discussed this and it's been a debate about whether it was lower pitched or higher pitched. I call it a really loud, lower pitch sound. This would probably maybe a high pitch. He seems to be waving, so he'd probably be yelling. I think these things sound high pitched. It would probably seem loud to him. This right here is under this bird. What would he hear? He would feel a high pitch. And I think it might seem loud if it was right there, even though it's just a bird. Okay, a barking. Now here's a big dog and a little dog here. So I'm thinking this big dog will have a low pitched, loud, and this would be a high pitched, and it would be a little loud. So I think I have, oh no, right here. Maybe high pitched, and that one might seem a little bit softer to him way over here. Once again, that might be a debate there, but we kind of did that in class. So sound and energy transfer. For a sound to be heard, energy must first cause an object to vibrate, and vibrating objects transmit or send off energy as sound waves in the air. So this goes back to that idea that sound energy is a kinetic energy. The energy is transferred through the air as the sound waves move. Eventually, some of the energy is going to reach your ear, and then a process takes place that you interpret the sound. If you look at the picture to the left, what effect does the energy transfer of the liquid have? The energy transfer have on the liquid and on the tuning fork? I think both move. The fork vibrates, and the water makes waves. So I kind of can move this over to the side. I'm going to make here so I just have a little container of water here, and this is a tuning fork, and I'm just going to tap it. And I don't know if you can see, I don't know if this actually moving, but if I hit it here, you can hear that, but here you might be able to see it if I hit it. maybe not. Let's see. It's moving a little, but I don't know if this, this absorbs stuff. I need like a hard desk. Let's see. Of course, I don't get up here in time. Okay, let me get this to work. Come on, I can't get my tuning fork to work, which is funny. I can hear it here, but I was hoping I'd be able to get you to see the water moving. But I think the desk is, the surface of my desk is, I'm going to try it one more time. Where could I get it off of? Not my shoe, maybe this. No? All right, okay, so maybe that's not going to work for me. I'll see if I can make a second video. I don't know why this isn't vibrating. It might be, oh, maybe that's why. Look at that. It kind of broke there. Oh, wait, can't see that. It is broken, so maybe that's why it's not working. Maybe I'll do it the other way. Oh no, it's just not going to work now. All right, well, I'll make another video where we're doing this on a tuning fork that is not broken. So I'll set that aside and we'll just finish the book. How about this? We could do this one where we have 3 different signs of rubber bands. If I asked you to predict which rubber band would sound very low pitched, which one would sound medium or between the two, and which one would seem high pitched. Okay, let's test that out. See the rubber bands kind of vibrating a little, and then this one. So we definitely hear low pitched here and a higher pitch here. You can hear really well. It's funny because when I do this sometimes in class, some of the students say that this one makes a higher pitch than this one because how tight they are has a lot to do with pitch too. And not only the thickness, but how tight they are, how long they are. There's a lot of different things. I always kind of round it down to Walt Disney characters, Mickey Mouse and Goofy. Mickey Mouse is shorter, is higher pitched. He talks faster, that's higher pitched. Goofy's kind of tall, that's lower pitched. He talks slower, that's lower pitched. They're not really thin and thick though. Okay, then number 5. The last question that I assigned on Wednesday was, without a water stream in this picture above, the cleaning tip might overheat. Why do you think this happens? What's the other thing that happens when things vibrate back and forth, and that's friction? So what I think would happen, I think the patient would jump up out of the seat, is what I always want to write for this one. But I think friction is created, and that's why it kind of overheats there. So we did 1 through 5. That's what I assigned on Wednesday. You could check it with this. I'll make another video in which I get a tuning fork that is not broken that'll work, and then we'll finish these. And I'm thinking that we're going to do this. So if you happen to have some paper cups around your house, I bought some paper cups and some string. Believe it or not, string phones do work. There's just a little trick that a lot of kids don't do. And when on my second video, I'll show you that. So I hope you guys have a nice weekend. Go double check and make sure that you got these right. And I'll talk to you on Monday. Bye.